Hello, Asta here and welcome back to my channel. Today in my hands I have the new Ordinary concealer. So if you're not familiar with Ordinary company, it is very famous for very affordable and effective skincare. So they also do some foundations and now they recently released the first ever concealer. So this is the high coverage formula concealer. This is how it looks out of the box. As you can see, it's quite tiny looking little thing. So it says to be a full coverage concealer, highly spreadable, that looks natural on the skin, doesn't crease, resists from collecting into fine lines. It comes in a little plastic tube and I just want to show you the consistency of it. It feels very thick. So this is how it looks. It does look quite a full coverage, I have to say. I have the color 20N. Although it is a full coverage, it feels quite creamy. On the official Ordinary website, it says you can use a finger to apply it or your brush. It also comes in 36 colors. There is like pink undertone, a neutral undertone, and warm undertone concealer. So there should be definitely one that would suit you. When I opened this box and I seen this tiny packaging, I was like, oh my god, this is so little product. But then when you compare to other concealers that look much bigger in size, you actually get 8 milliliters or 0.3 fluid ounces in it. So it looks tiny, but say this one only has 4.5 milliliters or 0.15 fluid ounces, and this one has 7 milliliters or 0.23 ounces. So both of these are actually smaller in the amount that you get in this Ordinary one. Even though the packaging looks so tiny, you actually get a lot of product in this. So let's put this baby on. So I'm gonna take a little bit out at the back of my hand. I'm going to use my finger for this. I normally always use finger to apply my concealers. I only have my foundation on and nothing underneath the eyes, so we're going to apply that. I'm gonna tap that in and we'll see how it works. I got my concealer on beautybay.com and it was around €6, so as always it's very affordable. Okay, so right off the bat I can see that it gives a straight on medium coverage. So I suppose if you build the coverage, you can build it up to full coverage. I'm going to apply a little bit onto my lids just to get rid of that discoloration. Blends out really easily, well, with the finger anyway. And I think, yeah, I wouldn't say it's a full coverage. I think it's more like a medium coverage concealer. So say if I would compare that to the Tarte Shape Tape, which is a full coverage, it doesn't have that kind of strong coverage. Definitely more of a medium coverage. I suppose it depends on how much you apply. So now on the other side, I'm going to try and use a brush for the other eye. Just gonna place it with my finger. I'm going in with the brush this time and blend it out. I feel like using a finger, it's much easier and quicker application. It kind of melts better into the skin rather than using a brush, but brush works as well. But again, when I use a brush, I can definitely see more kind of texture because I think the warmth of my finger really kind of helps to melt the product into my underneath the eye area. So on the side where I applied concealer with a brush, I can definitely see creasing straight away. I think because the brush doesn't work the product into the skin as well. So I would advise, if you're trying it, just try your fingers first, because I think it definitely works better. Or maybe even a wet sponge would be better than a brush. So I'll try to build the coverage up. I'm gonna use a little bit more on the side. You can definitely build the coverage up, that's no problem. I don't know if you can see it, but this eye has a little bit more coverage than this eye. So we'll see how it's going to last throughout the day. If it's something that is important to you, just know that it's cruelty-free, it's vegan, and it's alcohol-free and oil-free, and it's gluten-free as well. So I finished off my face, and actually by the time I applied everything, I had to go in a few times with my finger to tap out the excess of that concealer because it was creasing into my fine lines just near the lash line here. So I'm going to wear this concealer for today for as long as I can, and I will get back to you in the evening to give you my final thoughts and show you how that looks. So it's been over 7 hours. I'm wearing this Ordinary full coverage foundation. It creased a little bit while I was finishing off my face first time I applied it, and I kept using my finger to just tap the excess away. And then after I did that, the whole day went by and this thing didn't crease at all. Now, the only thing is, by doing that, by tapping the excess away and that creasing away, I actually did tap away the majority of coverage. So therefore, from the medium coverage that I had underneath my eyes, it kind of went to kind of light coverage. So that's the only issue I think I would have with this, because it goes on like a creamy, heavier concealer, but then if you don't want it to crease, you kind of really have to tap it away to take that excess off, and by doing so you are removing some product off as well. Now I have to mention as well, I hadn't set my underneath the eyes with any powders, because I never do. I always test my concealers as they are, like freshly applied, and I have found some amazing concealers who do last throughout the day and not creasing. This actually is one of them. It doesn't crease. If you are someone who likes that light medium coverage and you want something that doesn't crease, this is definitely a good one to have. But if you're someone who's looking for medium to full coverage concealer, I don't think this really works. Although if you're using powders to set you underneath the eyes, maybe it would work then you could apply a lot of it to build up coverage and then just set everything with powder, and maybe it should be fine. But I don't use powders for underneath the eye, so I can't really say is it working or not. I think for the price and for the quantity that you have, this is a very good and affordable concealer, as the other Ordinary products as well. But again, I don't think I'll be reaching out to use this concealer a lot, because I just have other concealers who are a little bit lighter, a little bit more moisturizing, and they also do kind of provide me with the same level of coverage. So therefore, I don't know if I'll be using this a lot. So it's a short one today. I hope it's been helpful. If you tried it, let me know what you think. If you have dry underneath the eyes, or if you've worn it and you love it. I'm just very interested to hear different opinions about it. So for now, I'm saying goodbye, but I see you all next week.